Hola mi gente, MsMalcolmHughes here. Welcome back. For those of you returning, today I'm coming with a book review. Today I will be reviewing Of Women in Salt by Gabriela Garcia. And this book actually surprised me. So I had seen this book going around on Instagram, but I wasn't really aware of what it was about. But then I was out book shopping and it was Hispanic Heritage Month or Latino Heritage Month. So there, as you know, we live in a capitalistic society, so as it usually goes, whatever is being celebrated at the moment is pushed to the front. So you immediately walked in and there was an entire section dedicated to Latino authors, and this one really caught my eye. I opened it up, I read the premise, seemed right up my alley, and I'm glad that I did. So Of Women in Salt is essentially a story that follows three different sets of women. It all interweaves like life does. We start off in Miami in 2018, and we learn that our main character, we get to experience Jeanette being worried about by her mother. Essentially, we find out that she's on drugs, she's battling addiction, and that's what we're dropped into. Next, we get taken to Cuba in 1866. We have a love story, and there's a lot going on. And you have the revolution, you have not the revolution that y'all are thinking of, you have the revolution. Spain is still in control. There's so much going on. But we get to meet our main character, Jeanette, some of her ancestors, and find out their experiences and their stories. And eventually it ends up connecting to Jeanette, who goes back to Cuba and tries to put the pieces together. But then we have another story that's interwoven into this as well. So we again interact with Jeanette, modern day. She takes in a young girl temporarily whose mother has been picked up by ICE. And this is a Salvadorian mother and child. And she takes in the girl for a while. Eventually, she doesn't keep the girl. The girl ends up being reconnected with her mother. They end up in Mexico. A series of events happens there, life-changing things. And so it seems like you have these three separate stories that all actually come together to paint the picture of women across generations and finding strength. Strength is something that comes up here often. What I found most appealing about this book, or what I found most enjoyable, was the amount of details that the author gave. The writing was in such a way that it was enough for you to feel exactly what the character was going through, but not so much that it was daunting to read. It was very enjoyable, a quick read. One thing I can say is she made doing drugs seem fun, and not maybe in an intentional way. She did such a great job of describing what the characters were feeling that you could understand, like, oh yeah, I see why they did that. I actually had to catch myself. I was like, wait, this sounds enticing. But I'm someone who's interested in cultures in general. Cuba is something that interests me for a lot of different reasons. So I really like the fact that there was words specific to Cuba here. I know the author herself is Cuban and Mexican. So weaving in different parts of history, I just thought it was great. I also like the fact that when going back to history, it goes beyond Fidel Castro. Like, it goes further back than Fidel Castro, and I think that's super important because the revolution did not start there. There are different iterations of revolution. There's different iterations of evolution, right? So I love the fact that it goes back further, right? You get more historical Cuba that no one thinks about really. So I love that. Love the fact that you have modern day Miami. Don't love the fact that our character was suffering from addiction, but I thought it was well done. And it was done in such a way that it didn't feel overly heavy. There's actually a lightness to it, which I think is hard to do because it's such a serious topic and you feel the weight of it. But you got to see and observe that this person had a whole life, and we got to see these individuals at different iterations, especially Jeanette. I like the way it all comes together. I don't love the ending. I can say that I did not love the ending, but I didn't hate it. And one thing that surprised me most about this book is that when I was done, I missed it. Like, I finished it early afternoon. I'd gone out, done some things. When I came home, I found myself wanting to read it. Like, I missed it. I was sad that it had ended. So I thought it was a really good book. I enjoyed the writing. The author did a really good job. Enjoyed the storyline. Enjoyed the historical aspects. Enjoyed the very human conversations. I think the author did a really good job with dialogue as well. And also a good job of introspection and us getting into our characters' thoughts and witty banter. I thought it was well done. So I did enjoy this. I do recommend it. I would say read it when you have time. But I thought it was worthwhile. It's a good book. Yeah, that's what I can say. It was a good book. A surprisingly good book. Short, quick read, right? Not too long. I liked the psychological aspects as well, especially in relation to women and men and those dynamics, whether it's husband and wife, partners, whether you're being pursued, whether it's father and daughter. There was a lot to unpack here about familiar relationships or people we take in, those relationships and how they shift and change our lives. So I thought it was good. Definitely check it out when you have time. Wasn't mad at it at all. All right, y'all, that is it for me. I have so many books I need to read. Those were all the books from my October read. I've reviewed all of those. I do want to, my goal for November and December is actually to read all of the books that I bought that came out in 2021 that I haven't read. I want to read them all, so at the end of December I can compile my list of best books that came out in 2021 of the ones that I've read. So put some good energy out into the universe. Pray to the Most High, ancestors, all of that, asking that this happens. Because I would love to do that. But I have so many books. I'm actually going on a book buying ban because I have so many books that I need to read. My goal is to not buy any new books until my birthday. So that's May of next year. But yes, that is it for me. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here. I hope that you enjoyed the book review. And until next time, as always, I am MsMalcolmHughes, one who believes that books are sometimes better than people. And until next time, I hope that you remember to give time, to be kind to each other, and to have the best day of your life on purpose. Hola, adios. Also, for those of you inquiring, I do still have buttons, my Ms. Malcolm Hughes pins, and the details on how to get those are below.